Hello and welcome to the Gnostic Takeover. Grateful to have you here and tuning your attention to the original, natural, organic message throughout the ages. Freedom, truth, justice, and harmony. This is what the Gnostic Takeover is all about. And yeah, very grateful to have you here. We're out here in nature, surrounded by beautiful fresh air. And I wanted to take some time to reflect a little bit. It's been a little bit quiet at the Gnostic Takeover the last week or so, and that is also due to a strike on the Gnostic Takeover channel. And so I'm using the backup channel here, which is the German channel, to convey this message and share a little bit about what's been going on here over on our side of reality, and just talk a few things through, what we've been through, what we're working on, and what is it all about. What are these times really asking us to put into focus and not be deviated? It's so easy to be deviated and distracted from the core essence of what it's really all about. Let me just fix this camera here. Of what it's really all about, and that's what the Gnostic Takeover is always here to do, and that's why I feel a great urge inside of me, not the demi-urge, but for lack of a better term, my dedication towards the Gnostic Takeover message and towards the wonderful community that we have generated watching the videos and being inspired. That's what the Gnostic Takeover is here, as a pivot point to be inspired for one's own life. So the Gnostic Takeover makes the bridge from not just being informed and informing yourself about what's happening, what's going on in the world, why is the world like it is, and how can we change it, but bridge from just being informed to living it, to actually put it into real life, and making the bridge from the theory into the practice. And I felt a little bit of sadness yesterday, even also the last few days, of not doing a video and not speaking to you. So therefore, now I'm speaking to you. It's great. So yeah, a lot has been happening here. There's reality transformative perceptions going on with me all the time, at all times. These are the most amazing times we're living in right now, and I'm going through amazing perception shifts. Especially the last few days have been amazing. However, these perception shifts often happen after a great breakdown. So there's this sort of high and low dynamics going on. It's like this sinusoidal wave of creation of a sine wave, a frequency-based reality that we're talking about here at the Gnostic Takeover. Reality not being material, actually malleable, actually to realize the Gnostic Takeover motto: this is the first day of my life. Oh, this is great. What a perception to have. I can start again. I can start all over again. It's not a done deal that things suck because I suck at the moment. I think everyone else sucks and the whole thing just sucks, and we're gonna go through this crisis, and it has to happen, this crisis, and the Gnostic Takeover gives a fix on reality where, when is enough enough? We've been through crisis here. Enough on Earth. So what we're trying to do is to really get to the bottom of everything, to remove ourselves from the prison of the symptom and the level of the symptom and the effects, and go right back to what? Yeah, you're right actually. To the cause. Causality. The law of cause and effect. And what came into my mind just 2 days ago was that it is literally all about the law of manifestation, the law of synchronicity, the law of manifesting reality. This is the natural order. Everything else is deviation. Everything else is entertainment. Everything else, everything except the law of manifestation, how to manifest reality and how to create the reality that is under your authorization, and therefore it's the reality that you really want to project as your reality. Everything else that is missing that point and doesn't have that as a foundation, that you transform your life how you see it fit in absolute freedom, being able to do anything you want at any moment, that freedom, that's what it's truly all about. This is causality, the law of cause and effect. The law of manifestation is the law of cause and effect, of causality. And this is where the Gnostic Takeover takes a deep dive into really truly understanding only that law of manifestation, which is the natural order. Everything else, informing yourself about this, informing yourself about that, and this and that and this, everything else is a distraction. Oh yeah, we can be inspired and find out about the herbal medicines and all other sorts of knowledge, but if our prime fix on reality is not focused on how we manifest reality and to manifest the reality that we truly want, then we're missing the point. I'm very clear about this. We're totally deviated from the true meaning of life. We're totally manipulated by alternative media sources if the manifestation of our reality is not the basis and the foundation with which we get up in the morning. I certainly get up in the morning with that in focus. This is why the Gnostic Takeover here, the Gnostic Takeover message, is not for everyone. It could be in a year or 2 years' time where people start tuning in. However, the Gnostic Takeover wants to go beyond. I was listening for 10 years to the Mark Passios, to the David Icks, to John Lamlash, the Gnostic teacher on the internet, the peak of Gnosticism. John Lash is the man whose book you need to read and whose videos you need to watch, whose interviews you need to listen to in order to get a true grip on Gnosticism. And then I got to know John Lamlash personally, and you find out that he's a dark occultist, a black magician. I'm absolutely honest about that. I can extrapolate that conclusion from my own personal experience. And I've listened to many, many other people. And where my life truly started to transform at the core, at the foundation, was when I was starting to find out what I have to give to the world. What my true power really is. The real knowledge that I have to share. And the power that has. I always thought They are all better than me. And I have to just listen to them and learn from them. However, what I'm often talking about here is that the hidden manipulators have created the alternative media arena in order to keep heart-based, heart-centered people like me and others listening here from starting to speak out, because we would take everything to the next level. My message is certainly dedicated into taking down the control system of the Archon Vampire Empire. I'm being given day by day the template of their control system, and what comes with that is, with the template, is to how to take down that control system. So that's why right now I'm really going deep into the law, because I know that the most effective way to impose your will on a target population, target for invasion, the most effective way of imposing your will on a target population is through law. And I say quote unquote law because it's criminal law. And the plant medicine that I have a bond with, I have eliminated and continue to eliminate. Depends how deep depends how deep the rabbit hole goes, huh? But I can say that I have eliminated my bond. A bond is a strong force of attraction. I have eliminated my bond with what drives this criminal system. What drives this Archon Vampire Empire and the financial system that they set up the way they set it up, and the way they pillage and rob the world, it's all based on the field of Wetiko. It's a field phenomena. It's the field of Wetiko. It's the field of the spirit of evil, and it's basically an information system. However, that information system keeps you in bondage. The bond to the Wetiko field, to the Wetiko information system, keeps you in bondage. It keeps you trapped. It keeps you as a slave for people to rob and pillage you and rape you. It's a system set up by the spirit of evil, and it is that field. It's a field of consciousness. The spirit of evil, the field of Wetiko, it's a field of consciousness that informs as a principle. Okay, we're back to the law of cause and effect, because everything is holistic. Instead of looking at the effects, you look at the cause. So this field of Wetiko is the cause, the principle, in other words, in other terminology. The field of Wetiko, the field of the spirit of evil, is the cause, is the principle that informs all its agents in this hierarchical, pyramidical structure. This is also what one can see when you study the reptilian brain, the R complex. It's all about territoriality. You have to know your place in this system. When you work anywhere in this system, in whatever company, if you don't have a boss who's open-minded and gives you the space to maneuver, in most companies where you work with, it's strictly compartmentalized and it's strictly hierarchical. Yeah, because it's a holographic manifestation of the principle of the field of Wetiko and how it is organized. It is organized, as I often say, hierarchically. It's a pyramidical control system. And in order to be trapped in the field of Wetiko and being in bondage to the spirit of evil as a slave of the mind, you have to get your informations from the information system of the field of Wetiko. As I say, it's an information system. It's like a hard drive. It's a hard drive that informs you that that's the only thing that exists. It's like one radio station informing you, and this one radio station has many other different radio stations, but it's basically the same radio station. And what it informs you is the overwhelming dominance and the overwhelming authority on proceedings here on Earth of the dark occult, of the psychopaths, of the psychopathic class. And all the alternative media that I've mentioned here already, that's the core foundation that most people don't realize. Oh, because David talks about love, David Icke, he talks about love and opening the heart. What I mean is that most of these alternative media come from the foundation and the basis of the overwhelming authority of the dark occult on proceedings here on Earth. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, and in autumn the monkeypox is going to come, and then it's going to be even worse, and there's going to be a stock market crash, and you have to prepare. This is a religion. This is a cult in the alternative media. That's why I've been out of it now for nearly a year. I've not been consuming nothing from the alternative media for nearly a year. And that is the reason why I have eliminated my bondage to the information system of Wetiko. Because in that information, when you are being informed by the information system of Wetiko, you are in a tunnel vision. And you don't even realize that you're in a tunnel vision. Oh, there's going to be crisis. You have to be very afraid. Oh, but you can open the heart and it's all about the heart. But there's going to be crisis. Food shortages. There's nothing you can do about it. There has to be a stock market crash. Oh, and in the autumn they're going to come again for you. They're going to come for the children and all that. It's a tunnel vision, and it's happening in the alternative media day by day, manipulating people. And this is the core that we have to understand how manipulation works. Manipulation only works when you do not see that you're being manipulated. That's what the Gnostic Takeover tries to bridge. And most people can't take it. Who the fuck is he to criticize great people who've done such a great job for humanity? Well, that's being called opinionated. That's what is called having confidence in yourself. And saying things that are uncomfortable to say, losing subscribers, and not giving a fuck because it's about the truth. You know why we're still in... You know why the world is still in bondage to the psychopaths. Because we have not lived by the truth yet. The truth is the single one thing that's most hidden in the world. If we were to find out what the absolute total truth truly is, it would be too much for us, probably. It's much more. It's more. I mean, this is, yeah. I've been going off on a little bit of a rampant, but what I wanted to focus on is that the information system of Wetiko, that as a principle, okay, the spirit of evil as a principle informs its agents in this pyramidical control system. And many of the agents of Wetiko are in the field of the alternative media, because one of the key ways where we are being deceived is by not knowing how smart the enemy truly is. So we look at all these alternative media people who even talk about plant medicine, for example. And we think that they're truly spiritual. However, from my experience, I needed to find my own voice in order to get out of that tunnel vision, that manipulation. Oh, the dark side of the force is all powerful, but they don't explicitly say that. You can only see that when it's pointed out to you. Well, do you realize that the entire basis of what they're saying is that the only ones who have a say here on Earth is the dark occult? They never talk about other forces. That's what I talk about here on the Gnostic Takeover, the forces of ultimate power. The intelligence that informs the plant kingdom, natural intelligence, that what I have a bond with, ayahuasca and datura, the plant medicine. That is another information system. Wetiko is an information system. However, that information system of Wetiko is based on a lie. Evil is a liar. What do they call the devil? The devil is the deceiver. Deception is all based on a lie. So that lie, that tunnel vision, that information system of Wetiko, the spirit of evil, the field of Wetiko, that is based on lies, wants to hide the truth that comes from the information system of the plant medicine. The field of Wetiko is an artificial information system based on lies. The forces of ultimate power, the plant medicine, is a natural information system based on truth. And you can figure out yourself what checkmates the other. You cannot solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it. You have to raise your consciousness to get access to the natural information system that the Gnostic Takeover is rooted in. And just like a sculpture, the Gnostic Takeover always tries to remove even the inconsistencies that I still have, because I'm a human being, I'm not a machine, I'm not perfect. But at least what you get here at the Gnostic Takeover is honesty. The only thing that most helped me along my journey was when people were honest. It's the honesty that counts. It's not so much the information. It's the honesty. And that's what you'll always get here, because the truth is honest. And the basis for true self-discovery and the basis for the truth is self-honesty. We can continue lying to ourselves. Yeah. So, moving further along this. It's always funny once I do an update, I have no idea what I'll get into, but that's a really important point. So the Gnostic takeover, in other words, is removing you, the listeners, from, oh, there's a big crisis coming. Removing you from that tunnel vision and like, jeez, what the fuck was I into? Oh, I was listening to David Icke talking about the next scam that they're going to pull off, and talking about Bill Gates, although Bill Gates is only one agent, okay, who serves the agenda in his capacity. But David never talks about controlled opposition and names names there. He names pedophiles, as he's done in the books, but why doesn't he name people in the controlled opposition? Is there an industry behind that? That's interesting. Because Alex Jones, for example, he's had this incredible media empire. Apparently, there's something going very wrong with Alex Jones, and apparently it's crumbling. I don't know. I'm not informed. But what I'm saying is, there is a network in the alternative media going on also. And everywhere where I've spoken, everywhere where I have been invited to give an interview, I've given interviews to George Cavasilis, interviews with Alphabetic, Josh Del Sol, and the Summits, Mark Devlin. I've inquired also with Mark Passio to have an interview with him. I've inquired him many times. He's never gotten back to me. Everywhere where I, from the Gnostic Takeover, have been interviewed, I have not been invited anymore. And what that tells me is again, this information system of Wetiko is based on a hierarchical pyramid where it's all about compartmentalization of information. I know that I'm not being invited for interviews on other alternative media channels, and I've been interviewed by many of them. I'm not being invited because the information needs to be compartmentalized. I had 11 sessions with ayahuasca, and the last 4 of them, of the 11, the last 4 of them were with Datura together. So the last 4 of them, I drank a brew of ayahuasca and Datura. And since the last ceremony that I did on the 12th of February, from the 12th to the 13th of February, this is where I drank a double dosage together with Errol Kaya, who used to be a part of the Gnostic Takeover. He left me inside 4 days after that ceremony. He was gone, out of the picture. And since that ceremony with Errol, which was the most intense ceremony, and I realized, and you can go back to watch about my experience with it after it happened together with Errol, I was under attack for many hours, where they attacked me. They attacked me like nothing I've ever seen before, psychologically. They wanted to drive me insane, and it didn't work because I'm too powerful. And I now know that the attack came from Errol. He was trying to break me psychologically with the last ceremony we did. He didn't manage to do it. Therefore, he left my life 4 days later. And ever since I did that ceremony, I have a continuous connection with ayahuasca and datura without having to drink it anymore. It's with me the whole time. Why? Very easily explainable. Because my bond, which is a strong force of attraction, look up the word of a bond, very important. In this criminal system, the system informed by the Wetiko information system, they set up a bond with your birth certificate in every court of law, in every court case. In a court of law, where there's no such thing as law going on, it's all just about pushing liability onto you. This is something I go deep into when I study the law. In every court of law, every court case, they set up a bond. Insurance. But a bond is a strong force of attraction. And I'm eliminating the strong force of attraction, where I have no attraction to the field of Wetiko anymore, but instead get my information from another source. Oh, okay, so you get your information from so-and-so, but what is the source of that information? The source of the overwhelming majority of the alternative media, the source of that information is the field of Wetiko, the tunnel vision, to keep you enslaved to it and pretend that they're doing something good for you. This is the way they are always hiding in plain sight. And that's what the Gnostic Takeover is here to bridge. And I don't care if I lose followers. I don't care if you don't like that message. For those who resonate and for those who listen and then realize, freaking hell, he's right. It truly is about the law of manifestation. It's not so much about being informed about the food shortage that they have planned and the great reset and all of that, the digitalization of the transhumanist AI 5G agenda. It's not so much about that. It's about the nature of reality. 5G AI transhumanism agenda 2030, smart grid, digital slavery of the control grid of transhumanist technocracy, field of Wetiko, but above that, the nature of reality. How do I create a reality of freedom? That's what you hear here. That's what you get here. The reality of freedom. Digital slavery, the nature of reality. The Hermetic principles. The principles of the natural order. The most important knowledge. Yeah, that's what a Gnostic Takeover says. It's not only for that I have a great life. Oh, no. It's about me creating a great life, yeah, because first I need to create for myself what I can then also give to other people. I can only give what I have. It's for everyone listening here and who resonates to the Gnostic Takeover message to create the life of our dreams and to make our dream reality. Yeah, it is impossible, but only till it's done. Who tells me to have any boundaries on my vision? Myself. Taking back the whole planet. You think this is going to end in crises now? Food shortage crisis in the world of abundance? Again, tunnel vision. Ooh. Oh, but we're informing you. No, you're not. You're putting people into tunnel vision. And the Gnostic Takeover says, throw away the freaking glasses and the tunnel vision. This is reality. Natural, the original, natural, organic reality. And it's not going to end in crisis. We're going to take back the country of Austria. And take back the whole planet. In the holographic principle, if you take down one element of the control system, and how it set up the template of the Archon Vampire Empire, the manipulators in the background. You take down one, you take down all. Go and watch the movie V for Vendetta when he flicks the first domino. And the whole Archon Vampire Empire system, criminal system, is based on protecting the first domino. Which is why me and Liz have gone through the most intense and most challenging few months of our life. But it all serves the purpose of learning, of growing, no matter how difficult it was. They took her child. They broke into our home, took her child. And all I say is, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Because I'm uncovering everything. I'm uncovering your entire system. The whole template of your system, and that gives me the template of how to take it down. And it's very simple. I've got the intelligence and the information system of ayahuasca and datura that you don't have access to. Franzi Vogel, High Priest of Satanism here in Austria in St. Corona. You don't have access to that information system that I have access to. You as a High Priest of Satanism, and you also Errol Kaya listening to this, you only have access to the information system of the field of Wetiko, and you think that's all there is. You're stuck inside that bubble, but the information is outside of your bubble. You don't have access to it because you're limited. As Satanists, you are limited because you're a force of limitation. Creation limits them. Everyone listening here, creation limits them, these Satanists, to the access of information that they have access to. That's why they come to people like me and give me ayahuasca, for example. That's what Errol did, for example. Give me ayahuasca so they get more information through me because I'm not limited. But the only thing that happens is I checkmate them and they get eliminated from my life. They are limited. That's why they want to keep everyone else in the tunnel vision. It's why the alternative media that they control keep everyone in a tunnel vision and don't want the Gnostic takeover message. No. We don't want they don't want the tunnel vision to be lost. Otherwise we would be talking about the law of manifestation and how to manifest our realities, what truly is all about. We can all have abundance. So there's so much more to come here on this channel. I'm just so deep into the information of the template of how they set up the system, and this is how we're gonna get Leonie back, Liz's child. It's exactly how we're gonna get her back. Through information and the application of that information. And boy, am I going to apply it. From bridging from the theory to the practicality. I'm going to share everything here for free. Absolutely. Yeah, because this information is priceless. I don't put a price tag on it because, again, charging money is informed by the field of Wetiko. Everyone get as offended as you like. It's just the natural order is a gift-based information system. You give and receive. However, it's also difficult. It's not so easy in this world because most people don't have that level of consciousness to do that. However, I live my life according to these principles anyway, because that's the only truth, and that's why I ask for help when help is needed. And I want to thank every single one who has supported the Gnostic Takeover. It's been that was very challenging for me also to ask for help, and all my fears, my existential fears came up, and then Wetiko, because as I say, I'm still in the process of eliminating all, but Wetiko had an effect on my psyche where it was like, yeah, maybe you have to get a job. And then I was like, no fucking way am I getting a job. I'm taking the planet back. Can't have a job. I've got a job. I'm employed by the source of all creation. That's my principle that I serve. I'm employed by Ayahuasca and Datura to take the planet back. That's what I'm here to do, and that takes time. Takes effort every single day, and I love doing what I'm doing. And so it should be with every one of us. So I'll continue sharing how I'm doing it. I just came out of nowhere. Didn't know how to set things up. Still only know the basics of how to make these videos. I don't get to it. It's I'm too much immersed into the information that I study, because that is more important right now. But I will study also getting these videos better when I have the time to do that. Again, big shout out to everyone who has supported the Gnostic Takeover. It's so greatly appreciated, to everyone who took the time to actually go underneath in the description below and just click and do the necessary steps to financially support us, because this is what keeps us going. And yeah, it shows that the message is getting to people, and it's also of assistance and helping you in your growth process. Because again, I share the wisdom that I've gone through, my experience, and it's all, my intention is to always align it to the truth, the absolute truth, to the principles of the natural order, the Hermetic principles, the principles of natural law. And that is the most hidden information on the planet. That is the most hidden information that the field of Wetiko, based on lies, is trying to hide and keep your perception away from the information source of the truth, where all the informations that I share with you here are coming from. And always, as I said, like a sculptor, like sculpturing a sculpture, removing information that are inconsistent and not in alignment with the truth. So yeah, that's as an update. I always want to share other things which I don't get to, because then I get into all sorts of interesting topics that I like to speak about. And yeah, to conclude all of that, we're removing the tunnel vision here and realizing our true potential. But for that, we need to heal our traumas and move through those traumas. I mean, sharing from my personal experience, I've been, like the last month, I've been shouting at times. My inner child coming forward, and like my personal traumas coming to the surface. And what the medicine is taught me is, when you feel depressed, when things get too much for you, find a way of expressing those emotions. Don't throw it onto other people when you're in a bad mood. Find a way of expressing them. Like when you're really angry, things get to you. Go somewhere in nature where no one hears you and shout it the fuck out. Go in the ice cold water or do the breathing exercises. Express those emotions in a way where you're not harming other sentient beings. And that clears it. I've experienced it the last weeks. When I express those emotions and I break down and I shout, it leaves me and I heal that trauma. And those breakdowns, when we feel depressed and when we break down, those breakdowns lead to breakthroughs, because actually those breakdowns are just a breakdown of the program. The program, the template of the Archon Vampire Empire is one big program that they put on our minds, and it originates from the information system, okay, this hard drive that originates from the field of Wetiko, the spirit of evil. So yeah, lots more coming here. The channel, the Gnostic Takeover, is banned for a week right now for an interview that I did together with Errol, with George Cavassalis, that I did 1.5 years ago. Just out of nowhere, they suddenly banned that video because of misinformation. Whatever. They can't take down the channel, and I'm still on YouTube only because we're here to take over YouTube. This is the motto of the Gnostic Takeover. Well, you lock us down, we take you down. It's the motto of the Gnostic Takeover. We're not leaving YouTube because they're censoring. No, we're taking over YouTube. Yeah, and they might be laughing at me saying that, but they won't be laughing when the impossible, in my mind, is not the impossible, but the possible. Because my options are not limited like yours. People working on YouTube or working for the mafia. Your options are limited. You think that's the only way it is and will always be so because you're enslaved. I'm not enslaved. I'm getting my information from another information source. It is another information system called natural intelligence. The intelligence that informs the plant kingdom. That's where I'm getting my information from. And from that information, the impossible is only impossible when your perception is that it is impossible. But the impossible is possible when you realize that the impossible is only impossible until it's done. And that's what we do here at the Gnostic Takeover. We get things done, and we're doers, not just talkers. So that's how I'm going to wrap this video up. Much love to everyone. Much love, and stay grounded. Go out into nature and don't get trapped by the tunnel vision. You are infinite and without limitation. They want to limit you because they, the enemies of life, the Archon Vampire Empire, by its principle, all these agents of the spirit of evil are limited. And they just want to keep us in a smaller box than what they are, when we have access to the infinite. This is the Gnostic Takeover. Yeah, this is the intelligence of the plant kingdom. Who the fuck are we waiting for if we don't do it? Who the fuck are we waiting for to do it for us? Rainer Fulmich? I can't see him anywhere. What the fuck's he up to? I don't think those court cases are coming out, huh? Now who's gonna save you? It's the right information that's gonna save you. And to apply that right information and create the life that you want to live. That's what it's truly all about. The law of manifestation. So till next time, you take very, very good care of yourself. Self-love is the basis for love, which is the basis for sovereignty. Love has been so often used that I like to use the word sovereignty, the crown. The crown is with me, the crown of the king archetype, which I'm aligning with. That's what we need. That's what we need here on earth. Kings and queens, the masculine and the feminine in balance inside all of us. So till next time, you take very good care, and may the force of the one and only highest source of all creation be with you.